Remember, the entire dynamic of this meeting that took place yesterday was specifically for community organizers, activists, people that actually work within the Democratic Party. We're going back to their elected representatives and going, guys, things are fucking going crazy. Okay, things are blowing up. And if your expectation is that you just sit by and wait for the Republicans to perish, this is not going to work. You need to help them fail. If possible, please. Can you do something, please? Can you maybe tilt the scales in our favor? Obviously, we have the situation with the Democratic Party. They leaked. They had a meeting with like Our Revolution and Indivisible and numerous other like Democratic Party booster groups, right? Like activist groups that do door knocking for the Dems. Like they literally are a part of their network, right? Important parts of their network. They had a meeting with them the other day, and ironically enough, in that meeting, the Dems got very upset. Apparently. Why were they very upset? Well, they were very upset because those groups were demanding the same exact thing that we've been saying, which is, hey, can you guys do something, please? Like the country is getting ripped apart and we're watching it unfold. And it kind of seems like you guys are asleep at the wheel. Well, it turns out the Dems got very mad. Not mad at the Republicans, mind you. Mad at those liberal groups like Move On and Indivisible. Now, these guys are not Marxist-Leninists, okay? Let me explain something to you. These people are not in any way, shape, or form revolutionary groups, okay? We're talking about Move On and Indivisible. They're liberal groups. They work within the confines of the Democratic Party for the most part. Now, of course, they're a little bit more progressive than the Democrats on key issues, for sure. But overall, this is the heart of the Democratic Party's door-knocking operation. This is at the heart of the Democratic Party's, like, outreach operation. Okay? These are regular-ass libs. And it's understandable that these regular-ass libs are saying, hey, Democrats, can you lead, please? What is happening? Well, it turns out Democrats are pissed off at them. So one of the groups, pejorative now, extends to any cohort of humans, asking Democrats in any organized fashion to do anything beyond just fundraising, sending death robots to Israel and shrugging. Anyone who wants politicians to do politics is a pie-in-the-sky purist. We have officially gotten to a point where the Democrats are basically stating like, oh, you want us to actually do things? You want us to actually stop the Republican Party, for example, or try to stop the Republican Party, for example? What kind of ridiculous activism is this? It is kind of crazy that this is the state of affairs within the Democratic Party, okay? A rudderless ship, a operation simply designed to extract resources from as many people as possible so that they can basically send all of that money back to, I don't know, different kinds of marketing initiatives that their friends and their immediate family members work at. It's this massive grift. It's this money extraction operation. And there is no way, there is no reason to demand anything from them. Just give them money and shut the fuck up. At least they are not the Republicans. This is my criticism of the Dems in full display. Like, this is them basically admitting what I say all the time. It's like they just looked at the situation and said, nah, what do you mean? No, like, what did you think this was? You misunderstood. No, we are not the Republicans, so give us money and shut the fuck up. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. Here's a meme about it.
Party. We love those quippy one-liners that make some people feel good about themselves and make us go viral while stunting any real progress from those pesky naysayers we don't like. I'm speaking. We're the Democratic Party. We sprinted to the right to try to get those people who would never vote for us and absolutely fucking lost. We're the Democratic Party. We currently hold the record for the most deportations, and we consistently vote against migrant communities, and we are not afraid to brag about that. We're the Democratic Party. We funded a genocide. We're the Democratic Party. We marked any emails about Gaza during our presidential campaign as no response, so they would be exempt from any outreach or engagement from us. We're the Democratic Party. We pushed an internal memo to get Biden to say that COVID was no longer a threat to score political points, completely rejecting any science and getting you to take your mask off, further driving a wedge between disabled and immunocompromised people and everyone else, also while doing nothing about long COVID and being extremely unclear about the status that we're in this pandemic. If we could just have that line start at like 2100 and not 0, I think that would really help us. No, they're not gonna look into what manufacturing consent means. They don't ask questions of us. We're the Democratic Party. All that considered, we push for mask bans alongside our Republican friends. We're the Democratic Party. We will always...
Okay, to be fair, masks, scary. Yeah, if you wear a mask, especially if you're at a protest, okay, then it's much harder for the surveillance apparatus to log your identification. So, sorry. Oh, are you sick? Are you sick in public? And you wanted to be, you wanted to be a nice person? You wanted to be a thoughtful individual? Fuck you. Except also, when push comes to shove, when there is like wildfires, for example, taking place, then we'll actually go back to the exact same groups to be like, hey, we really fucking need masks right now. Can you guys give us some of your masks? It turns out masks are not a face diaper.
Always make concessions to our Republican friends. We're the Democratic Party. We know that the other side is like way worse, so just like give us money. We're the Democratic... Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw that. I know. You said that they were going after people who didn't vote for us rather than us. I know. Yeah. We love that part. We're the Democratic Party. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Slay. The problem here will always be that we have high standards for the Democratic Party. We want them to do good shit all the time versus the Republican Party who voters have no standards and vote to make neighbors' lives worse instead of better. No, that's not true. Okay. And I'll explain why. I get what you're saying. In terms of the Republican agenda, their agenda is death and destruction, which is easier to do. It's easier to break things than it is to build things. Except that didn't used to be the case. Okay. Post FDR, it was actually much harder to untangle the federal government. It was much harder to advocate for austerity. That is the last 40 years of neoliberalism that has made it so that starving the beast is actually the norm, and people have no expectations from their government, and that Democrats are not expected to actually beef up the federal government in any way, shape, or form. That's like we're inherently antagonistic towards those sorts of initiatives. Okay? That wasn't always the case, though. That was not always the case. There was a time when, the government used to do things and people used to like that the government used to do things. There was a time when we took advantage of the social safety nets, at least to the degree in which it existed, when living standards were better. So I don't think that there is do I believe that the Republicans have an easier go at it than the Democrats do, given the standards and the expectations from the broader American population? Absolutely. The problem is Democrats don't even actually push for any of those things. Anyway, here is the conversation that took place from someone that was there at that meeting, trying to figure out how much I can say without doxing myself. But long story short, there was a meeting/protest today where over 100 community leaders and advocates met with Schumer, among others. And it went horribly wrong because he basically admitted that they never thought about how to fight back. Everyone was mad as hell and demanding Dems do more. At what point, he basically laughs at my mom and smugly tells her that if she wants the community to be helped, then she needs to run for a position and help her community. And then my mom had to sternly remind him that she did. And she ran for her position and she won, which is why she's there with the rest of the advocates and leaders, because they're doing their jobs and the top Democrats aren't doing theirs. Super awkward. Remember, the entire dynamic of this meeting that took place yesterday was specifically for community organizers, activists, people that actually work within the Democratic Party, but like are directly door knockers and like the voice of the Democratic Party, the outreach operation of the Democratic Party, were going back to their elected representatives and going, guys, things are fucking going crazy. Okay, things are blowing up. And if your expectation is that you just sit by and wait for the Republicans to perish due to their incompetence, like this is not going to work. You need to help them fail. If possible, please. Can you do something, please? Can you maybe tilt the scales in our favor in any way, shape, or form? And their expectation is no. Also, towards the end, they told the crowd that everything's off the record and they can't be held to their word. Lamau. And then they did. They leaked this meeting that took place. They leaked to the Axios guys that they actually hated. They said that the entire conversation was off the record. And then, of course, predictably, they went back to Axios and leaked to them, which is a center-right publication, of course, that they are pissed off at the liberal groups like Move On and Indivisible. If you are the Democratic Party and you're pissed off at Move On and Indivisible, who is in your corner? There's no one in the base then. You just hate your base. You actively hate your base. You despise your base. This is the base of the party. Like a lot of people will immediately say, Hasan, you're a socialist. Hasan, you don't like the Democratic Party. You want a proletarian revolution. Okay? Hasan, you are inherently antagonistic because you have a biased position on the genocide in Gaza, and that's why you're constantly cynically criticizing the Democratic Party. Those people don't understand that I work within the confines of the existing political structure all the time. Okay? This does not mean that I agree with everything, but I understand that if politics is the art of the possible, okay, then do something. Do something and show us what is possible. Okay? Yes, it is correct. I am biased against a country that is doing genocide and a Democratic Party that allowed it to happen. Okay? Having said that, however, I have maintained this position throughout the entire election cycle. If you were in here watching me cover the Democratic Party's incompetence, socialists benefiting immensely from capitalism. Got it? Dude, I just want healthcare, man. What are you talking about, please? And it's not even just for me. Like, I'm good. All right? It's like, I understand that higher degrees of socialization and a government that actually allows there to be more unionization will open up opportunities for more political mobilization down the line. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm saying. It is crazy. Do Dems even care about their voter base? No, they don't. And this is my point. Like, anyway, socialist yet tremendously beneficial. Capitalism is great for me. Yeah, okay. So what? What's the expectation? I should just shut the fuck up and just be like, no, the Democrats are doing great, guys. And I'll take it one step further. The Republicans are doing great. They're doing great for me. It's awesome. It's ridiculous that in this time and space, like, I can't even have any sort of criticism of the Democratic Party from the perspective of someone who wants the Democratic Party to do better. You know, it's ridiculous.